Could you speak on what determines our personality types, characteristics and traits, despite us all sharing the same three core functions of existence?
So this is the moment in the book where I transition from talking about Homo sapiens as a species and as we've evolved as a species, where we, as an animal, we all share the same core functions, survival, reproduction and purpose. But of course, as we all know, we are all weirdly and wonderfully different. And so this is the part in the book where I transition to how your unique personality type is formed. And yes, that's the core we are built on, survival, reproduction, purpose. Yes, we're an animal with the same biology and similar biology, but we all have these unique quirks, traits, characteristics and attributes. And that fundamentally comes from your nature and nurture. So I write a whole chapter in the book on nature versus nurture. And simply put, your nature is the genes passed down to you by your parents. You get 50% from mother, 50% from father. And, you know, that's really important. That's your sort of baseline starting point from birth. That will govern some of the fundamental things like skin color, eye color, hair color, height, you know, body shape. All of that physical genetic stuff will largely be determined by your genetics. There's also elements of your behaviors and characteristics that can be passed on through genes. So you've already got a bit of a starting point, believe it or not, when it comes to you developing your behaviors, characteristics and personality style through genetic coding. However, the other part of it is your nurture. So after birth and growing up and through your early stages of brain development, and the brain typically develops by the time you're 23 to 26 years old. Some people it's later, some people it can be slightly earlier, but let's say between 23 to 26 years old. So those formative years are really influential on your personality style forming. And within the nurture element, you're really looking at three main influences that start to form these characteristics and attributes and your personality, which is parental, the way your parents you, and I talk a whole segment in the book about parental influence. Social, where you grow up, the friends you knock around with, the relationships you have, the hobbies and interests you had as a child and the experiences. And educational, your school years and your educational influences. This forms your environment. And parental, social and educational are also combined with those genes you've inherited from mother and father, all go into the pot to you forming a personality type. And that's why some of us are extroverted, expressive, larger than life, risk takers, and others are risk averse, introverted, prefer their own company. You know, and we arrive at that point primarily through your nature and nurture and the complex combination between genes and environment.
Brilliant.